We've got the backstage reaction to the Rock WWE title win plans. AEW Owen Hart Cup plans have been revealed, and a title match has been added to King and Queen of the Ring. Stay tuned for all the deets. Now, there's been a lot of talk in and around WrestleMania, in the build-up to WrestleMania, while WrestleMania was happening, after WrestleMania. The Rock popped up, and everybody was like, "Hey, it's The Rock!" And then Cody was like, "Hey, Rock, I know I won everything, and I've got a shot in that, but you should have it, man. You should go do it." And everybody kind of went, "What?" And this has been a sort of a sticking point, I guess, with the wrestling viewing public, or at least the WWE-centric wrestling viewing public. Since it sort of happened, it all got walked back. Obviously, we know now that Cody managed to finish the story. We had the big happy ending. Everything is as we wanted it, and we kind of got our way for once, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But as per a report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, some of the top names in WWE were pretty strong against the initial idea for The Rock to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 to become the undisputed WWE champion, and then proceed to vacate the belt. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Triple H and Roman Reigns themselves have specifically been named as people who were against the idea, alongside the already revealed Cody Rhodes, as if Cody's going to be like, I don't need it.
That's been on the record for a while that Cody Rhodes has been against that idea. So that's the Triple H, though, didn't know that to the full extent. And Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns was against the idea.
It cheapens Roman's reign. It cheapens Roman's reign for Roman to lose to The Rock. Generally, because I mean,
it's The Rock.
He's old now.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, but like Roman could run circles around him physically, probably now. And it's one of those where if The Rock then wins it and just drops it, like what's the point? What's the point of any of it? Just have him come back and people go, "Yeah, it's The Rock.
It's The Rock."
Yeah, like it didn't make any sense. But the report again confirms Cody Rhodes knew that he was no longer going to be set to main event WrestleMania 40 when he won the Royal Rumble, which was corroborated by Cody himself earlier in the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not surprising that people backstage are kind of
we're against it.
Yeah, because I mean, especially I think Roman there being the key person is really cool though as well, for him to be like, "No, this doesn't work. Like it needs to be this story." And
that kind of lines up, with it needs to be this story. What we discussed a few weeks ago, where it was revealed that he was the one that pushed for him to beat Cody last year at WrestleMania 39, and it was the aim of using that next year to build Cody even more and have the win come at 40.
At the time was a massively controversial decision, and a lot of us thought that was going to backfire, and that it was going to take forever to rebuild, and it did get a bit rocky. And this is the thing what people are doing right now with Cody's reign right now is it's sort of like people are kind of, I'm checking out a bit, and it's like it's just getting started. Like it's just getting started. Let it have this grace period, and then it's going to get really interesting.
Let them cook.
But sort of keeping it with this, Brian Gewirtz, the writer for The Rock, has opened up about said plans for WrestleMania 40 and revealed the original plan was one that would have been hated more than anything in life itself.
It's always a good start. Always a good start to when you go, yep, these were the original plans, and I wrote them.
They showed me what they were doing. I looked at it and I went, Cody Rhodes, yeah, it's a really cool story. Screw that. I want Dwayne with that belt, and then the day after we're going back to Hollywood.
Yeah, we're doing The Room.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're doing The Room of pro wrestling storylines.
So speaking on Busted Open Radio, he said, "The idea of Cody winning the Rumble, I thought, was problematic. I said in San Diego in that meeting, Rocky, you got to make sure that Cody kid's got broken legs. You got to make sure, just take him out. Take him out, Rocky." That's definitely what he said.
Yeah.
He said, in San Diego in that meeting, I thought the cleanest thing to do if we're booking Rock and Roman is to have Punk win the Rumble and challenge Rollins, because there's a difference storyline-wise of Cody wanting to finish the story and having earned the right to finish the story by winning the Royal Rumble, which makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
That bit I can see, right? Yeah. I'll just say with 100% certainty, he continued, the original plan is something many more people would have hated more than anything in life itself. I can't state that any more clearly. Punk gets hurt, the dominoes start falling, things start shifting, and we get to something. We get to a point where the WrestleMania press conference is coming up, and we need to promote something. And now we get to the infamous Alabama promo.
That is the one where Cody hands over that title opportunity. He becomes the metaphorical seat in the hotel room in the corner.
He's firmly sat in the cup chair. Yeah, they should have actually put a nice wing back in the ring for him to sit there and just watch them.
Yeah,
and kind of just look sad at himself.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this is what we've heard quite a bit about this week, was that Brian Gewirtz came out, was it last week, and he was like, well, no, it was supposed to be like Cody's went into business for himself, and it was supposed to be that Cody was like really graciously giving it to The Rock, which somehow was going to be better.
That's better, yeah.
For Cody to stand there and go, you know what? I don't need to finish any story. You go get him, Rocky.
Go and get them, Rock.
You go do it for
Go and
Dusty.
get 'em.
You go do it. Go on. Yeah.
Go and do it, Rock.
It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But they all said, apparently, this is where it's at. The story for Cody is to win the belt that his dad could never win. It's not to beat Roman Reigns and not to do it at WrestleMania. It's technically, obviously, that's the ideal place to do it. It's the best version of it. But the idea is, I need to win this belt. I'm not saying this is a good idea, but it's where we were left after the injuries and everything else.
Yeah,
but
so
it's sort of walking it all back after Cody was supposed to get in there, get on his knees and kiss The Rock's ass, isn't it, Brian?
A little bit. It seems like the original plans were going to be that Cody was going to get that injury angle that we heard rumors about. Punk was going to go off and face Rollins at WrestleMania for the world title.
Yeah.
Where would that leave Cody?
That. That's the belt that Cody needed to win.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Seth was like, "Look, Cody,
this is the one. This is the one you want. It does seem like it was an idea that universally would have been hated. I can't see anyone at the completion of it going, you know what, that was a good idea. And granted, as much as he's going to get criticism because he is walking it back just a little bit, Brian Gewirtz is at least going, people would have hated that idea. Yeah, which it's in hindsight, but it's got to be an impossible task for him as well, right? Yeah.
Because we're all kind of jumping on Gewirtz right now and going like, "What are you thinking?" Like I just did there. But the whole thing is like he's come back because The Rock's come back. And he's just been thrust into the situation. It's like, right, well, this is what The Rock wants, so make it work.
Yeah, make the story.
And so he's just got to somehow connect everything and find the through line, and the through line happened to be, it's the title your dad never won. Go, like,
you can do it at a different
event, but like, not doing it here. This isn't happening. But then ultimately the original ending is still absolute crap. Like The Rock wins it and then just gives it up.
Gives it up.
It's The Rock going, oh, I don't need this anymore. I'm
off to Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm back now. I'm off
to play Mark Kerr.
Black Adam went bad, but I'm off to A24 to reinvigorate my career.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be class. We've got some scrap plans for NXT Battleground, though, don't we, Fraser?
Indeed. This comes from Wrestling Observer Newsletter, who says the original plans for NXT Battleground at the UFC Apex in a couple of weeks' time was for my boy from Scotland, Noam Dar, to face Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. They kind of set this up on an episode of NXT where Noam Dar and Metaphor took down Trick Williams. However, those plans have been scrapped. It seems Dar has been off TV since, and Williams has now seemingly entered a program with Gallus. So we've gone from one Scottish guy to another Scottish group. I think it's
Dar was taken out on NXT this week as well.
Yeah,
backstage, sort of clutching his leg.
So it looks like maybe Gallus has taken down Dar. But he's now off TV because of this. I just think maybe Dar wasn't ready for that main event spot just yet for a title opportunity. Whereas maybe Gallus is. They've been a bit more present.
Storyline-wise, yeah, but I think Dar's probably the better competitor there. I'd say out of the two matches, if I want to watch Trick Williams versus Coffey or Trick Williams versus Dar, it's Dar every day.
It's Dar every day, right? I'd rather see
think they're more aligned, weirdly, and it's one of those. But I do like Clash of Styles, and I think that hard-hitting style Joe Coffey brings is going to be really cool in ring. But for whatever, I just feel like Dar has that electricity to him, doesn't he?
He does. Either way, Scottish talents in the build-up to Clash at the Castle.
Massively featured as well. It's good. Massively featured. It's really cool.
I wonder if they'll get a spot at Clash.
Probably. You've got to imagine so.
I hope so.
Yeah. We've got more details, though, coming out of AEW surrounding the Owen Hart 2024 Owen Hart Cup. They've been revealed by a report in the Calgary Herald, and it states that the finals of the annual AEW tournament are going to be taking place on July 10th in Calgary, and that Martha Hart is going to be in attendance for the show. Yeah,
it's strange hearing a report coming from the Calgary Herald, a mainstream news outlet such as that, but they're reporting that
Is the Calgary Herald the one that Natty writes a column for as well?
I think so.
Yeah, the Hart family have had.
They're very,
columns.
very closely linked to the Calgary Herald. I believe that Martha spoke to the Calgary Herald following Owen's passing in 97. 99, sorry. So I think it's very closely linked with the Hart family. So of course they're putting this in there. Probably a little tribute to them.
Yeah, and I think it's just cool to get it out there to the market first and foremost, right? The local paper, it's like, that's going to be coming. We need to make sure we're going to be there.
Yeah,
right?
Smart business to try and get some tickets sold.
Now, we got a bit of a shot being fired across the bow from Will Ospreay. Surprise, surprise. But speaking with Comic Book, Will Ospreay said he feels that WWE's use of Ricochet is appalling.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, going into the quote, he says, all of these high flyers that you see, and myself included, we all took inspiration from Pac and Ricochet. The fact that they only value his time for under 5 minutes is appalling to me. I just want people to remember who he is. If you go and look at 2012, 2013 Dragon Gate Ricochet, he was untouchable at the time. When it came to his generation of high flyers, he was the greatest. He's the greatest high flyer ever. I know it sounds weird, but I do include to put him on the same level as Rey Mysterio. Ricochet, of course, the current WWE Speed Champion. His matches under 5 minutes, under 3 minutes, depending on the match.
Yeah.
I think Ospreay's kind of right here in terms of there is more that Ricochet could be doing.
There is.
He does have certain limitations in terms of his skills on the mic that when you look at Ospreay, for example, has grown massively in. Yeah. But that could be a product of the fact that WWE is not using him enough to give him those experience.
Possibly, and also I think, I don't think anybody forgets who Ricochet is.
No.
Will Ospreay and Ricochet's series of matches turned an entire group of people who couldn't care less about wrestling into wrestling fans.
Yeah, for sure.
It was massive. It was stuff that it was like watching Tiger Mask Dynamite. It was like, what? This is crazy. There's no way that this is happening. And their series of matches was absolutely wild. I remember them vividly.
Strangely, it's kind of the New Japan Best of the Super Juniors match is strangely a match that kind of re-sparked the British Indies a little bit, because it was like, oh my God, this is a British talent, Ospreay.
And he's coming back.
He's coming back over here. That match between them, and it's not just Ospreay's talent in that match that did that, Ricochet as well.
I mean, when they worked for WCPW and the rope broke. How are the two biggest flippy high flyers going to work without top rope? They did it perfectly. They worked together. But I think at the same time, part of it might be, I know that in there, just like Will Ospreay suggested, Ricochet's still got that, right? Ricochet can still do those big, long, crazy, sequences of matches and stuff. But at the same time, are WWE ever going to be the company that allows that? Is it something that they're going to allow for that longer form?
Yeah,
sad.
They are going more work, right?
But at the same time, surely Ricochet also has a say, right?
Yeah, he's staying with WWE at the moment. He's clearly happy with what he's doing. But yeah, maybe in the future when his contract situation is coming up, there will be interest from other companies.
One more time.
Exactly. I wouldn't be opposed
absolutely ham.
to see Ospreay versus Ricochet in 2024, 2025. Nah. They've still got it. Yeah. In fact, they never lost it.
Exactly. They're just building on it.
Yeah. They're better now.
But looking toward tonight, it's of course King and Queen of the Ring at a very respectable hour here in the UK. But announced on last night's WWE SmackDown, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are going to be defending their women's tag team championships against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This is going to be their first title defense since winning the belts at Backlash. Yeah. I think it's fair to say they're going to be retaining pretty straightforwardly. I think they will. This kind of came about after a backstage segment. Bianca was tending to her injured knee. Candice and Indy came up and taunted her a little bit, and then Jade came along, was like, also, just want to say, it went viral on Twitter. You could see Jade's abs through her outfit. She was fully clothed, but you could see her abs. It's insane. But she laid down the challenge, sort of was like, I'll go and speak to Nick Aldis. That match is happening. It's going to be a big squash match, right? Jade's going to destroy them. You've got to think the knee's going to factor into it. So maybe is it Jade's going to kind of save it all, or is the knee going to get used in a way where we do maybe see a title sequence, a title change? But I don't think it's time yet. Bianca can't quite get the match finished. That gives Jade a little bit more in-ring time. Yeah. Double person jaded. She's going to hit it on both of them. They're small enough. Well, keeping it with us here tonight, we have the live reactions to King and Queen of the Ring with Andrew Hodkinson and Adam Pacitti. Damn right. At 4 p.m. British summertime right here on YouTube, youtube.com/cultaholic/live. And then tomorrow night for AEW Double or Nothing, what we got, Fraser? We have got Ross and Tom. I forgot who was on it. We've got Ross and Tom tomorrow night, Double or Nothing at 11:30. Then we'll have all the what happened at. We'll have the WTF moments for everything, all the good news and stuff. It's a big weekend of wrestling, and I'm enjoying it at a reasonable time. Get outside if it's sunny, go for a walk to Greg's or something, get yourself all the stuff you need for later. It's going to be a few good hours of wrestling, and then tomorrow night, same again. Do it again. Same again. We might be back later on with any more news if it breaks before 4 o'clock, but if not, make sure you stick it here with us here at youtube.com/cultaholic/live. Bye.